Sheikh Chilli. Sheikh Chilli was a simpleton. He lived in a small village on the banks of river Panjam. His house was a favorite meeting place of all the animals and children of that village. He treated both man and animal with the same respect and kindness. Once, a limping dog entered his house. Sheikh Chilli treated him in the same manner as he would treat his friend. He asked the dog to sit down, got him a bowl full of milk, and then tried to examine his injured leg. The dog felt so uncomfortable with Sheikh Chilli's hospitality that he quickly ran away. Poor Sheikh Chilli! He had only wanted to be kind and hospitable. There is another incident that goes like this. One day, Sheikh Chilli went to bathe in the river. He put all his clothes in a neat pile on the bank and gingerly put his legs in the water. Immediately, he felt that his neck was getting wet. Sheikh Chilli was puzzled. How could the water move from my feet to my neck so quickly? I have not even entered the river fully. He pulled his legs out of the water. 5 minutes later, he put his legs back in the water to see if the magic would repeat. Oh yes! He felt the wetness on his neck again. He was impressed by the swift action of the water on his body. He jumped into the river, extremely excited, and had a quick bath. That evening, he narrated the entire incident to his friend. His friend smiled and remarked, "I saw Tommy the dog licking your neck when you sat there with your legs in the water." Poor Sheikh Chilli, he was so naive. Every Thursday, Sheikh Chilli went to the market to buy vegetables and fruits. The market was quite far off, and the villagers had to pass through a thick forest. They always traveled in groups and avoided returning late from the market. One day, Sheikh Chilli got delayed and had to return alone. All the other people of his village had left early. Halfway into the forest, his friend Manguram remembered that when left alone, Sheikh Chilli almost certainly landed himself in some trouble. Concerned for his friend, he immediately rushed back to look for Sheikh Chilli. After walking back for nearly half a kilometer, he saw his friend sitting in front of a fierce-looking bear, talking to it and feeding it carrots and other vegetables from his basket. The animal had a puzzled expression on his face. Perhaps it was wondering how to attack someone who was so nice and polite to him. There came a time in Sheikh Chilli's life when he had no work and no money to buy things for himself. He often borrowed from his friends. Finally, even his friends stopped lending him money or giving him things. One evening, Sheikh Chilli was sitting in front of his house, feeling sorry for himself. There was not even a single grain in his house. Hungry and lonely, his mind began to work overtime. He decided to rob the rich merchant's storeroom for some grain. The merchant's store was always stacked with grain and other food items. That night, when the clock struck 12, Sheikh Chilli set out on his task of robbing the merchant. He succeeded in sneaking into the storeroom. There, he packed enough grain for himself. Just as he was about to move out, his eyes fell on a bowl full of milk. Sheikh Chilli was very hungry and could not resist the temptation of making delicious porridge for himself. Having decided this, Sheikh Chilli set about the task of cooking the porridge. He lit the stove and after putting the pan with milk and cereal on it, he sat down to stir the porridge occasionally. It so happened that the servant's daughter was sleeping nearby. When the porridge was just half done, the girl stretched herself, and her hand, with her palm open, came in front of Sheikh Chilli's eyes. Thinking that the girl was asking for some porridge, he grumbled, "Can't you wait for some time? The porridge is not yet cooked." Incidentally, the girl withdrew her hand at the same time. Everything was quiet for a while. After about 10 minutes, she again stretched her hand. This time, Sheikh Chilli mumbled angrily because the porridge was still not ready. However, when the action was repeated for the third time, Sheikh Chilli became quite annoyed. He shouted, "I told you to wait for some time. If you are so hungry, here, take this porridge." Saying this, he dropped a spoonful of hot porridge on the girl's outstretched hand. Needless to say, the girl's screams brought the whole house into the kitchen, and Sheikh Chilli was caught and put behind bars. His desire of eating the porridge remained unfulfilled. Perhaps it is better to be smart than simple.